Hello. Hi, guys. So I just recorded one and I wanted to do this one real quick because it's separate. It's a separate situation, a separate conversation, if you will, than the last one. So something that I actually forgot about. You can go back and look at the video I posted titled My Daughter's New Mom or My Child's New Mom or My Baby's New Mom, something like that. And it was about Emily. Emily is, well, just go watch the video. It's a little bit longer. Anyways, there was about, there was a couple months when all of this was going on that Emily befriended me. Okay. And she spent a lot of time in the RV with me. And you have to remember that I was in the middle of crazy trauma trying to figure out what was going on. I basically lived in shock for about a year after everything that happened, losing my house, losing my babies for no reason. Everything, the familial, which everything. I mean, I was just just bombarded. There was no time to rest in between. It's been 3 years since that has happened, and there have been a few conversations that have come back up to the surface of my brain, and this is one of them specifically. And anyone watching this who knows Emily, I have no doubt that you have heard this story because I didn't spend very much time with her, so why, you know what I mean? And she told me. And it's concerning. At the time, none of this had happened yet, so it wasn't as concerning. And I don't know that it really registered with me the way that it should have, just because I was, like I said, everything had been taken from me. Everything overnight. That is something that is unimaginable. It's unfathomable until it happens. And it doesn't happen to very many people. Not like that. Anyhow, she told me, and I'm not going to get into details because it's disgusting and deplorable and very graphic, but she told me a story about she was with one of her friends, I guess. I don't know if this was her friend or if this was someone who was around one of her friends. I have no idea. But she told me in front of other people a story about how she was so disgusted because she had seen on someone's phone, whose phone? I don't know. That's the big question. Um, Something as disgusting as what Josh Duggar is currently in prison for like 13 or 14 years, however long. It should be forever. Has to do with children. And it's not something you can find on the regular web. Put it that way. She described it. And you hear those kinds of things and you think, oh my God, like your brain doesn't, it's almost like your brain rejects that you're hearing that. A normal sane person cannot think that happens. We know it happens, but I feel like even if I hadn't been in trauma, that would have been a difficult thing to process. It was not for her, apparently, because she told me all about it. And I don't think that conversation didn't go anywhere. I'm sure it didn't. But it's coming back to the forefront of my mind now, because this is the woman who is living in the same home with my 13-year-old daughter. And I know that I have a right to know who's around my child. Who is she bringing around my child that has these kinds of this kind of content on their phone? Who is in that home? I have questions. I'm a mother. These are normal questions. These are normal questions that any protective, loving mother would have. I want to know who's around my child. I have a right to know. I'm still here. I'm not dead. Even as much as Once again, the echo chamber of hate and crazy is trying to brainwash my children into thinking that their relationship with me is over. No, I don't think so. I want to know who's around my child. I have every right to know who's around my child. This is what happens when you traffic little girls, Jana. Are we okay with this, Virginia Beach? I'm not. Thank you guys for all of your attention, for just everything. Prayers, kind words, getting me through it all. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. It's been 3 years. I will not stop, because you don't do that. You don't stop. You don't sit down when it comes to your kids. No, you do not. It is your God-given right to protect your well-being and that of your offspring. And you cannot stop me until my very last breath. I made them. I want to know who's around them. I want to know they're safe. I want to be able to speak to them whenever. And be able to hug my babies in 3 years. For what? And now they're going to try to blame them? No. You already blamed me. And it didn't work then. Well, actually, no, it did. It did work then. You lied and so many crimes to frame this, set it up the way that it has been set up. You've already done that to me. And as a parent, I will not allow you to do that to my children. No. Mm-mm. You took me from them. But not for 2 seconds did you ever take them from me, because they're always right here. They are everything. They are my heart. They are my backbone. And I want to know that they're safe, and I have a right to know that they're safe. I have a right to speak to them. You can't traffic these kids, Jana. You can't traffic them. You can't sell them to their abusers. Who's watching my baby right now? She's 13. She's in a home with a woman who's around someone who has child porn, who has seen it. And obviously didn't report that person, because I don't remember that part of the story, but I remember her telling me about it. I don't remember her saying, yeah, and I reported them to the police and now they're in jail. I don't remember that part of the story. Because she didn't. That's disgusting. That is the woman that's living in the same home, under the same roof with my baby. A woman who watched that on someone else's phone, hopefully. Felon. Didn't even show up to her own custody hearings. And she was the one who told me that. You can't sell these kids. You cannot sell our children. No. And you have scared everyone else that you've done this to, every other parent, you have scared into silence. I know, because I've talked to them. They reached out to me. You've broken these people. For what? No. Mm-mm. Not here. I can't let this happen. My babies are older, and we will get through what we need to get through, and we will be closer because of it. You will not do this to other people. How many parents couldn't go on because you sold their life force that God gave them? To who? To abandoners, stepmoms who engage with individuals who engage in deplorable things. But you're a stepmom. And I think about the video I made where I talk about Jenna being a stepmom. And I hope everybody realizes that's not me being nasty, pulling her kids into something that she did, or anybody's kids into something that this adult did. That is not what's happening. But the fact that this individual is so willing to traumatize other people's kids is directly relevant to the fact that she has other people's kids living under her roof. That's why I said I was worried about her children. If she'll do this in plain sight, what is happening in her home? I don't know. But it's concerning. It is. That lack of integrity, spite, willingness to forever traumatize a baby. And yeah, 10. Yeah, 10 still a baby. Yep. To their mama it is for sure. Maybe you didn't know that. Thank you guys again. Go visit the website. The more support we get, the better. And I will always speak about Mona's laws, and we will make this happen. It may take years, but I will not stop, because this cannot happen. This cannot happen to our children. This cannot happen to our community. This is not okay. The laws apply to everyone. Just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean you be getting away with these crazy crimes. But you have until now. I'm going to put an end to that. Thank you guys so much. Again, seriously. And we're all going to get through this together, and we will not stand idly by while our children are herded and sold like cattle. Not here in Virginia Beach. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, anyone outside or in between. No. Thank you.